What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today we will be talking about another lesson in technopreneurship, which is the value proposition canvas, and the business model canvas. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm John Anthony Piancho III, one of your hackers, and these are my fellow groupmates. First, the hustlers. Chris Andrew O. Dulle. Next is Tristan A. Isidro. Then the hipsters, Frankie Rose K. De Leon, Daniela Marie B. Mata, and lastly, my fellow hacker is Louis Jerome S. Lacson. Now, let's proceed.
Hello, my name is Chris Andrew Dulle and I will be presenting the value proposition. First, let's talk about what is value proposition. Value proposition is a simple statement that summarizes why a customer will choose your product or services. It communicates that the clearest benefits of the customer receive by giving you their business. So, sa madaling salita, ang value proposition is ito yung makukuha ng isang customer kapag binili nila ang iyong product or kung ano yung magiging value nila kapag in-avail nila ito. Next is, a value proposition can be presented as a business or marketing statement that a company uses to summarize why a consumer should buy a product or use a service. So dito, sinasabi lang na ang value proposition is ginagamit ng mga business or ng mga business para maging marketing statement. Yun nga, para lang may pakita kung ano yung magiging value ng isang product kapag binili na nila ito. Next is, your business value proposition is arguably the most important element of your overall marketing messaging. So, sinasabi dito na pinakamahalaga yung value proposition sa marketing statement para kasi dito, sa umpisa pa lang, may papakita mo na kung gaano kahalaga yung isang product or isang services na tinitinda mo. A value proposition tells prospect why they should do business with you rather than your competitors. It makes the benefits of your products or services crystal clear from the outset. So, dito ina-explain din kung bakit mas kailangan piliin yung business mo or yung services mo kaysa sa ibang mga competitors. So, sobrang mahalaga to.
So, hello, I'm Tristan A. Isidro. I'm from BSc 3C and I'm going to continue discussing the value proposition. So, I'm going to discuss the value proposition definition in layman's term. So, sinasabi dito sa slide natin na the value proposition pertains to the benefits that customers would get upon buying a product as promised by the company who owns it. It is actually a statement which serves as a window for the consumer to see clearly what a certain brand could offer and its advantages over other competitors, and for it to be clearly seen by the customers. This is where advertisement comes into play. So basically, the value proposition is the value of the product or the service that is proposed by the company who owns it. So, di na natin papahabain kasi yun na yun eh. So, next, the value proposition historical background. So, sinasabi dito na the phrase value proposition or VP in short is credited to Michael Lanning and Edward Michaels, who first used the term in a 1988 staff paper for the consulting firm McKinsey & Co. In the paper, which was titled "A Business is a Value Delivery System," the authors defined value proposition as a clear, simple statement of the benefits, both tangible and intangible, that the company will provide along with the approximate price it will charge each customer segment for those benefits. So that's it. For next, value proposition, tangible and intangible benefits. Before we proceed, sabihin ko lang rin ang meaning ng tangible and intangible para mas maintindihan natin. So, sinasabi dito na tangible and intangible refer to two different type of assets or concepts. So, for tangible, these are physical assets that can be touched, felt, or observed, such as buildings, machinery, and inventory. Intangible, these are non-physical assets that cannot be touched or seen, such as patents, trademarks, and goodwill. So tangible assets are those that can be measured in financial terms, while intangible benefits cannot be quantified directly. In economic terms, these benefits include customer satisfaction. So, ano nga ba ang tangible and intangible benefits? So, sa project benefits, dalawa nga, tangible and intangible benefits. So, intangible benefits, we have the increased revenue, resource cost savings, hardware cost savings, software cost savings, productivity gain, and process improvement. While for intangible benefits, we have enhanced user experience, increased customer satisfaction, increased compliance, and brand equity. So, that's it. Yun na lang ang ating mga na-discuss. So, thank you.
Good day everyone. So, my name is Daniela Marie Mata from BSE E2C. So, today I'll be reporting about the value proposition canvas. So, ito yon. Ito yung tool na nag-help sa businesses and entrepreneurs para mag-align yung products and services nila sa pangangailangan at desires ng kanilang customers. So, this canvas has two main sections. So, on the right side, itong bilog, ito yung customer profile, which focuses on customer's perspective. Tapos, itong left side, itong square, yan naman yung value map, which focuses on what business offers. Yan. So, the main goal of the value proposition is to achieve a fit between these two sides, meaning the products or service should address the customer jobs, reduce their pains, and create gains. Right side, dito tayo mag-focus. Dito tayo mag-focus sa bilog. This section describes the target customer segments and has three important parts. So, andyan yung customer jobs, pains, and gains. Yan. Tapos, sa customer jobs, so, tatandaan nyo, these are the tasks, problems, or needs that customers are trying to accomplish or satisfy. Okay? Mamaya magbibigay tayong example. I-discuss muna natin kung ano yung bawat parts. So, customer pains. These are the negative experiences, emotions, risks, or obstacles that customers face when trying to do their jobs. So, dito lahat ng mga negative na nararanasan nila. And then, sa gains, these are the benefits, desire, or positive outcomes that customers seek or would be delighted by. So, ito yung parang mapapala nila dun sa gagawin mong business. Ito yung parang anong makukuha nila sa business mo. Ganun. So, proceed tayo sa example natin. So, ang example natin is milk tea and pastries. Yun yung magiging business natin. Customer segment. So, ito yung parang target market mo. So, tayo, ang gagawin natin is milk tea and pastries. So, ang pinaka gusto natin, parang ang target market natin is yung mga student, mga teenagers. Siyempre. Pwede rin yung mga office workers. Yun ang mga target market natin. So mag-start tayo dito sa customer jobs. So, ano ulit yung customers jobs? Ito yung mga customers want to accomplish. Okay? So, una, satisfy thirst with refreshing drinks. Of course, kaya kasi sila nagpunta, di ba? Thirst with refreshing drinks. Refreshing drinks. Next, have an affordable snack or dessert. Have an affordable snack or dessert. So, pwede rin yung find place to relax or hang out with friends. So, dito na lang natin ilagay. Find place to relax or hang out with friends. Tapos, dito na ulit tayo. Tapos, pwede rin enjoy a quick trip while studying or working. Enjoy quick trip while studying or working. Pwede rin tong maging ano, celebrate small occasions. Like pwedeng bonding with friends, your birthdays, rewards after exam, diba? So, dito na tayo. Next sa pains. So, ang customer pains, ito yung problem or frustrations customers face. So, una, pwedeng long waiting times for orders. Siyempre, pagka maraming customer, ganun, or onti yung staff, diba? Parang, siyempre, mas matagal yung waiting time mo kasi mas matagal gawin. Long waiting time. Long waiting time for their orders. Overly sweet or unhealthy drinks or pastries. Overly sweet, unhealthy drinks, pastries. Limited menu options. So, ito, isa pang problema na kahit ako rin problema ko. Prices too expensive, especially for students. Like, hindi siya affordable. Mag-aaral ka lang. Parang gusto mo lang ng place, pero mauubos ang pera mo talaga. Ayun. Prices too expensive. Especially for students. So, next is crowded. Tapos, noisy. Like, noisy. sobrang daming tao, parang nagsisigawan na, napakaingay. Okay? So, dito yung customer gains, what customer want to achieve, benefit they enjoy. So, ito yung makukuha nga nila dito sa magiging business natin. Affordable prices and promos. Affordable prices and promos. Especially sa student, syempre. Pwede natin ilagay doon is quick service and consistent quality. Quick service and consistent quality. Next is, so pwede natin ilagay yung variety of flavors to choose from. Variety of flavors to choose from.
So, pwede natin ilagay yung tasty and refreshing milk tea with fresh pastries. And syempre, pwede rin yung cozy and Instagrammable place to study, relax, or hang out. Of course. So, additional, meron pa tayong 3 parts ng types of customer jobs. So, una, functional jobs. So, these are the practical, tangible tasks that customers need to perform or complete. Also, meron din tayong social job. These are focused on how customer want to perceived by others within their social circles. And of course, meron din tayong emotional jobs. Ito naman is related sa feelings or emotional states a customer wants to achieve or avoid. So dito sa example natin, ito functional, itong una yung satisfy thirst with refreshing drinks. Tapos, have an affordable snack or dessert. Functional din yun. Find place to relax or hang out with friends. Social. And then, meron ulit tayong isa pang functional, which is enjoy quick treat while studying or working. And then, sa emotional is celebrate small occasions. That is emotional.
Ng ating customer profiles. In conclusion, the customer profile is all about putting ourselves in the shoes of the customer, understanding what they are trying to achieve, what frustrates them, what would truly make them happy. This understanding is crucial because when we connect with the value map on the left side, that's when business can ensure that their products or services really match the customers want, and that's the essence of creating a strong value proposition. So, ayun lang. Thank you!
Now, let's proceed to value map. Ano nga ba yung value map? This section describes how your product or service intends to create value for the customer. So dito meron din tayong 3 parts, which are the products and services, pain relievers, and gain creators. So, let's define each first kung ano nga ba yung ibig sabihin nila. So, the first one is product and services. Ito yung mga ma-offer mo sa customer para makatulong sa kanila kung ano nga ba yung pwede nilang bilhin na products sa business na ino-offer mo. And the second one is pain relievers. How the product reduces their pain and struggles. So, paano nga ba ma-reduce yung pain or struggles na naranasan nila sa mararanasan nila sa may business na ino-offer mo. Which is yung, ano nga natin, na example is yung milk tea and pastries. So, mamaya magbibigay tayo ng example sa pain relievers. And the last one is gain creators. How the product provides extra benefits for the customer. So, ano nga ba yung benefits na makukuha nila sa business or products na ino-offer mo sa kanila? First, dun muna tayo sa products and services. Ano nga ba yung mga ino-offer mo na products and services para sa mga customer mo? So, yun nga, yung example natin is yung milk tea and pastries. So, syempre, milk tea, fresh pastries, yon. And, pwede rin yung sa mga services mo is yung pwede kang mag-provide ng take-out food or drinks or delivery options para sa mga customer na hindi na pupunta sa may store mo or place na business mo. Second is yung pain relievers. So, dito, susolusyonan natin yung mga customer pains na naranasan ng customer mo sa may business. Dun sa may milk tea and pastries na example natin. So, first, long waiting times. So, dito, pwede kang mag-implement ng pre-order or i-train mo yung staff mo para yun, pre-order, magpo-provide ka ng pre-order or iti-train mo yung staff mo para mabilis yung paggawa or pag-process ng orders ng mga customers. Second, overly sweet. So, dito pwede kang offer ng adjustable na sugar level and mga healthier na drinks. And pwede rin dito, instead na i-fried mo yung mga pastries, i-bake na lang siya. Limited menu options. So, magpo-provide ka ng syempre maraming menu kasi for example, if yung mga sa customer segment mo, mga students or mga nag-work sa office, ganon, mas gusto nila yung marami silang pagpipilian, di ba? Kasi yung pag konti lang, parang if yung or mga flavors na ino-offer mo is parang ganun lang din sa ibang store, parang gusto nila yung new flavors, yung matitikman nila. Since pagbago nga yung store, di ba, nagharap sila ng mga bagong pastries or mga drinks na pwede nilang inumin at kainin. Too expensive. So, dito nga yung mga target market mo is mga students, gano'n, mga nag-work. i-maintain mo na yung, syempre alam mo na yung, i-maintain mo yung price mo na student-friendly, budget-friendly, ganon. And magbigay ka ng discount sa kanila. Lalo if group yung people na bibili sa business mo or sa may bibili sa business mo. Last, uncomfortable environment. Pwede kang mag-provide dito ng air condition yung place mo. And free wifi, syempre, yun naman yung madalas na hinahanap ng iba kapag pupunta sa mga place, yung free wifi. And, mag-provide ka ng mga upuan or place para sa mga yung gusto lang na mag-relax, yung mag-isa na pupunta sa may place mo, like maghahanap lang sila ng comfort kasi nga like pag mag-isa sila, doon nila nahahanap yung comfort nila. So pwede rin siyang gawin na Instagrammable para hindi siya masyadong boring sa mga target customer mo. Now, let's proceed to the last one is yung game creators. Benefits na makukuha ng mga customers mo sa products and services na ino-offer mo. Tasty and refreshing. Dapat consistent dito yung quality ng products na halimbawa yung milk tea mo. Dapat consistent yung flavoring niya. And yung sa may pastries, dapat fresh yung mga ingredients na ginagamit mo. Siyempre, pagka luma, diba, mag-iiba na yung lasa niyan. Affordable and promos, student promos. So, pwede ka dito mag-provide ng discount or discount lalo sa mga group of people nga. Sinabi ko sa may pain relievers para may benefits, di ba? Pagka group of people, tapos halimbawa may pa buy 2, take 1 ka, ganon, or buy 3, tas may free na pastries. Buy 3 drinks, may free na pastries. And, or loyalty card para sa mga loyal na customer mo na pumupunta sa may store mo, tapos halimbawa doon siya nag-work, ganon. Siyempre, bibigyan mo siya ng loyalty card or mga stamp card na uso yun ngayon eh. I-stamp mo, may card din siya, para siyang loyalty card. Tapos, pagka naka-stamp ka ng 10, yon, meron kang free drinks or pastries para sa customers mo. Cozy and Instagrammable space. So, dito, syempre, yung customer segments mo, mga students nga, di ba? Lalo sa mga students. Gusto nila yung place, Instagrammable. So, pwede mo siyang gawing warm yung kulay, or modern style, aesthetic, and pwede kang mag-provide ng mga good lighting para pag nagtitake sila ng pictures. Variety and customization. So, dito maraming pagpipilian na flavor doon nga sa pain relievers, di ba yung sinabi ko na magpo-provide ng mga maraming menu. Variety and customization. Wide flavor selection. Pwede kang mag-provide ng add-ons, mga toppings para sa milk tea or pastries.
Now, let's move on to the business model canvas. But first of all, my name is John Anthony Tiasio III, one of your editors. The business model canvas is a strategic management tool that lets you visualize and assess all the building blocks within a business, especially during startup. It's a one-page document containing 9 boxes that represent different fundamental elements of a business. This business model canvas beats the traditional business plan that spans across several pages by offering a much easier way to understand different elements of a business. So ito po ay isang strategic na pagmamanage ng or pag-assess ng building blocks ng isang business during sa simula nito. It's a one-page document na naglalaman ng 9 na kahon na nagrepresenta ng mga katangian or mga kailangan sa pagbuo ng business. So, mas efficient po ito kaysa dun sa mga traditional business plan na nag-i-span or mas maraming pages kumpara sa business model canvas. So, historical notes po. The business model canvas were initially proposed in 2005 by Alexander Osterwalder, born in 1974, a Swiss business theorist, author, speaker, consultant, and entrepreneur, known for his work on business modeling based on his earlier work on business model ontology. Since the release of Osterwalder's work around 2008, new canvas for specific niches have appeared. So, ang business model canvas na po ay initially proposed in 2005 by Alexander Osterwalder, isang Swiss business theorist, author, speaker, consultant, and entrepreneur na kilala sa mga kanyang business modeling. And yun. Next po is why you need a business model canvas. The BMC provides a quick overview of the business model and is devoid of the unnecessary details compared to the traditional business plan. So, compared daw po sa isang traditional na business plan, ang BMC po ay nagbibigay agad ng overview or of the business model, and hindi na po siya kung san-san pa focus. Naala na po dito yung ibang unnecessary details kumpara po dun sa traditional na business plan. Sunod po. The visual nature of the business model canvas makes it easier to refer and to understand by anyone. So, ang business model canvas daw po, ang nature po nito ay para mas mapadaling maintindihan ng nakararami. Yan. Next po is, it's easier to edit and it can be easily shared with employees and stakeholders. So, mas madali po siyang gawain, i-edit, at ipakita sa ibang empleyado, at saka mga stakeholders po, o yung mga kasosyo po natin sa business. Next naman po is the business model canvas can be used by large corporations as well as startups with just a few employees. So, ang business model canvas po ay pwede rin pong gamitin ng mga malalaking korporasyon para panimula po, gamit lamang ang kahit po konti pa lamang yung mga empleyado natin sa isang business. And next po is, it clarifies how different aspects of the business are related to each other. So, kinaklarify na po nito ang pagkakaiba ng mga iba't ibang aspeto ng business na related sa isa't isa. Next is, you can use BMC template to guide a brainstorming session on defining your business model effectively. So, magagamit po natin ang BMC template bilang isang gabay sa pag-brainstorming po or share po ng mga ideas sa yan po para mabuo po natin yung ating PNC at para mas maging effective po ito. So yan. Next naman po is how to make a business model canvas. So there are 9 building blocks in the business model canvas po. And ito po yung mga sumusunod: customer segments, customer relations, channels, revenue streams, key activities, key resources, key partners, and cost structure. And lastly is value proposition. When filling out a business model canvas, you will brainstorm and conduct research on each of these elements. The data you collect can be placed in each relevant section of the canvas. So have a business model canvas ready when you start the exercise. So kapag gagawa po tayo ng isang business model canvas, ay magbe-brainstorm po ang mga members to conduct o gumawa po ng isang research sa mga bubuo po ng business natin. Tapos yung data po na makukulik natin ay pwede pong i-place sa relevant section ng canvas po. Yan. So, kailangan po may ready po tayong canvas para makapagsimula dun sa exercise. First po sa list natin ay customer segments. These are the type of groups of people or companies that you are trying to target and sell your product or service to. So, customer segments po, ito po yung mga grupo ng tao or mga kumpanya po na target po nating bentahan ng ating produkto o serbisyo po. Segmenting your customers based on similarities such as geographical area, gender, age, behaviors, interests, etc. gives you the opportunity to better serve their needs, especially by customizing the solution you are providing them. So, pagka po sinesegment natin yung mga customers natin based sa mga pagkakamukha nila o pagkakatulad nila, tulad lang po ng geographical area or yung location po nila, gender, kasarian, age, and behaviors po nila, at saka yung mga interests po. Binibigyan po nito tayo ng opportunity para mas mapabuti po natin yung pagbibigay ng serbisyo or to better find yung product na suitable for them po. After a thorough analysis of your customer segments, you can determine who should you serve and ignore, then create a customer personas for each of the selected customer segments. So, after po ng analysis or pag na-segment na po natin yung mga customers natin, malalaman na po natin kung sino po yung dapat nating i-prioritize at yung hindi naman po dapat na pagtuunan ng masyadong pansin. Tapos, makakapag-create na po tayo ng customer personas for each of the selected customer segments po. Yan. Next naman po is types of customer segments. Ito po yung mass market, niche, segmented, diverse, and multi-sided. Tapos next naman ito is types of market segments is demographic segmentation, psychographic segmentation, behavioral segmentation, geographical segmentation. As customer relationships. In this section, you need to establish the type of relationship that you will have with each of your customer segments, or how will you interact with them throughout the journey with your company. There are several types of customer relationships. Ito po. So, sa customer relationships naman po, dito po papasok yung ugnayan nyo po. Ugnayan po natin seller or yung mga nagpo-provide ng product or service sa mga customers. So, una po is personal assistance. You interact with the customer in person or by email, through phone call, or by other means. So, personal assistance po is nag-interact po tayo sa mga customers po natin in person or sa email po or sa tawag at iba pa pong other communications. Next po is dedicated personal assistance. You assign a dedicated customer representative to an individual customer. So, ito po yung parang magbibigay po tayo ng isang tao para sa isang customer na mag-a-assist po sa kanila. Let's say, example po is sa isang shop, may mga pumapasok po na iba't ibang customers. Then, yung mga salesman and sales lady po is yun, mag-a-assist para tulungan sila kung ano man po yung kailangan nilang hanapin. Next naman po is self-service. Ito naman po is here, you maintain no relationship with the customer but provides what the customer needs to help themselves. So sa self-service naman po is mini-maintain lang po natin yung relationship with the customer, pero wala po tayong mini-maintain na relationship sa isang customer, pero pinoprovide po natin yung mga kailangan po nila para tulungan yung kanilang sarili sa product po or sa service na ino-offer po natin. Next naman po is the automated services. This includes automated process or machinery that helps customers perform services themselves. So, sa automated services po, dito po yung mga self-checkout, ganun po, wala na pong nagbabantay sa cashier. Yun po. And next naman po is communities. These include online communities where customers can help each other solve their own problems with regard to the product or service. So, communities naman po is dito po papasok yung mga reviews online, yun po, about sa isang product or service, kung good ba or bad yung experience ng isang tao bago makabili yung iba. Yan po. Then, next naman po is co-creation. Here, the company allows the customers to get involved in the designing or development of the product. For example po, YouTube has given its user the opportunity to create content for its audience. So, co-creation, yung kumpanya po ay nag-a-allow yung mga customer na ma-involve sa pagde-design or humihingi po yung creator ng opinions from the customers sa paggawa po ng produkto to either to improve or to better their product and service po. Then next po natin is channels. Ito naman po ay this block is to describe how your company will communicate with and reach out to your customers. Channels are the touch points that let your customers connect with your company. Channels play a role in raising awareness of your product or service among customers and delivering your value propositions to them. Channels can also be used to allow customers the avenue to buy products or services and offers post-purchase support. So, ang channels po ay paano po makakapag-communicate or paano po tayo ma-reach out ng mga customer. Dito po papasok yung awareness para sa produkto po natin or service para sa mga customers at pagde-deliver po ng mga value propositions to them. Dito po sa channels is pwede dito po siguro yung mga stores. Yan. Para physical stores, online shops, yan po. Dito po papasok sa channels. Good questions to ask when identifying the channels to reach your customers are: how are we going to tell our customer segments about our value proposition? Where are the customers? Are they on social media? Are they driving the car and listening to the radio? Are they at an event or conference? Do they watch TV at 7 p.m. on a Friday night? So, ito po yung mga frequently asked questions kung saan po pwedeng i-advertise or to spread awareness po about a product and service po. Yep. Examples po ng channels ay ito, social media, public speaking, electronic mail, networking, search engine marketing, engineering as marketing, viral marketing, targeting blogs, sales and promotions, affiliates, existing platforms, PR, unconventional PR, social advertising, trade shows, content marketing, community building, offline advertising is ayan naman po is billboards, TV, and radio. Yan po yung mga channels.
So, good day everyone. My name is Louis Jerome Lacson and I'm continuing what is Mr. Asho is discussing. Number 4. The key activities. The key activities of a business are the actions that the business undertakes to achieve the value proposition of the customers. Example po niya is yung YouTube. YouTube, may mga key activities po ang YouTube, and about po dun is maintaining platform, video hosting, and content moderation. Number 5 is key resources. Next, you should think about what practical resources are needed to achieve the key activities and actions of the business. This is where you list down which key resources or the main inputs you need to carry out your key activities in order to create your value positions. And also, this is the most important assets needed to run a business. For example po niyan is Tesla. Yung mga key resources po niyan is about factories, engineers, battery technology, and Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is about brand, formula, distribution system. And number 6, key partnership. Key partnership are the external companies or supplies that will help you carry out your key activities. These partnerships are forged in order to reduce the risk and acquire resources. Also, partnership can reduce, as I said earlier, partnership can reduce risk, save costs, and provide more resources. Example po niya si Uber, yung mga Uber driver po, and another example po yan is the Apple company naman po is manufacturers, telecoms companies. Number 7 is cost structure. In this block, you should identify all the costs associated with operating your business model. You need to focus on evaluating the costs of creating and delivering your value propositions, creating revenue streams, and maintaining customers relationship. The example po niyan is yung airlines is fuel, staff salaries, maintenance. And yung Netflix, another example naman po is Netflix is licensing, content creation, and server. Number 8 is revenue streams. Revenue streams are the source from which a company generates money by selling their product or service to the customers. In this block, you should describe how your business will earn money, plain and simple. Example po niyan is yung Spotify. Ang maka-earn po kasi Spotify is through subscription fees and ads. Another example po niyan is Google, yung mga advertisement po sa mga Google. And number 9 po is value propositions. This building block that is the heart of the business model, canvas, and it represents your unique solutions, product, or service for a problem, needs, or pain joints being faced by the customer segment or that creates value for the customers. Example po natin is Netflix, yung unlimited stream anytime and everywhere. And another example po is Apple iPhone, yung sleek designs, powerful features, and systems. And yun lang po, and have a good day. Add more stuff. Add more stuff. More party.
Expand the place na naman tayo
Shuttle services. Shuttle na lang.
Ano?
Shuttle services.
Okay.
Ayos na.
Instagrammable.
Decoration.
Fun activities. Alam ko tayo, resort naman yan. Oh, may lalaki dito.
Ang tanong nga lang, kahit ako kayo ng BNC
Nakikita ba?
Sa tayo sa Instance, model, canvas.
Kasya ka ba?
Jesus model canvas.
Oo nga pala, ano ba muna yung business natin?
Isidro Corporation.
Thrift Marketplace. Thrift e-shop na lang. Sellers. Huwag na muna, isulat mo muna.
Ang yung business natin, yan.
Okay na tayo sa thrift shop, diba?
Thrift shop, okay.
Ikaw yung thrift shop. Okay, partners muna.
Partners.
Ano yung partners?
Thrift shop, TRIP.
BH.
Thrift.
Siyempre, kailangan din natin ng magatinda. Sellers. Suppliers natin. Yung mga nagtitinda.